Hello again, this is HQ Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. And today we're going to go on a little movie hunt at Dollar General, Value Pawn, Cash America, see what we can find.
Oh,
So your mom went to the pawn shop.
okay. Bye.
Yeah, Dollar General. I haven't been here in a minute. And let's see if they have anything. Last time I stopped here, they didn't have any videos, so take a look. I just picked this movie up at the Dollar Tree on Blu-ray for $1. Yeah, Dollar General sucks. I haven't been to the Value Pond in a minute, so every now and then I can find one or two movies or Blu-rays, so we'll see what they have. Okay, this little bag is what I got at the first pawn shop, and these two hefty bags is what I got at the second one. So I'm gonna stop at Dollar Tree. I have to get a card for my wife. It's our anniversary of the day we met tomorrow, and we'll head home and get into these videos. Okay, I'm back at the Black Cave. I have my one package. I believe this is Value Pawn, and this is from Cash America. I was actually quite surprised walking to Cash America. They just had a bunch of boxes out there, DVDs, so didn't expect that many. And on Saturday they have a special deal, 50 cents for DVDs and $2 for Blu-rays. So picked up a little bit over there. So give me a second, let me put this in some kind of order and we'll get into this in a minute. Okay, I have my movies lined up here. And I have them, if you can see here, scanned into my CLZ movie apps. And let's see what I got and go into this. Okay, first one is a double feature, City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan, and Michael. I have Michael on DVD. It's a full frame. This one's actually widescreen. I don't think I've ever seen City of Angels. I've seen Michael a long time ago. It's a Warner release. And this is on one disc. So it's a movie on each side. City of Angels. Next, this is an Anchor Bay release. A film by Rob Schmidt. Never heard of it. Based on a true story. The Alphabet Killer. And only name I recognize on there, Eliza Dushku, and looks like Timothy Hutton. The Alphabet Killer. Again, this is an Anchor Bay release. Next we have Alvin and the Chipmunks. My son watches when he was younger. We haven't watched this in a while, so maybe we'll watch this again one weekend day. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Next, didn't even know there was a sequel to this. I have Are You Scared 1. I haven't watched it yet, and just so happened I found the sequel. Are You Scared 2? The last game you'll ever play. It's a Lionsgate release. Looks like kind of one of those Saw type movies. Are You Scared 2? Next we have an After Dark Horror Fest. They had a couple more of these, but the discs were a little scratched up, so I didn't want to take a chance on those. This one's in pretty good shape. Autopsy, Get Carried Away, from the 8 Films to Die For series. And they usually have some pretty good movies. A little bit on the low budget side, but usually the story makes up for them. They usually have pretty good stories. Autopsy. These are some of the other movies. I know I have Nightmare Man. I'm looking for that one. I think that's the only one I have on this list. Autopsy. Next we have the Platinum Comedy Series of Bruce Bruce. Haven't seen this. I've seen a few things by Bruce Bruce. He's not too bad. He has his moments. And you have a nice insert. Bruce Bruce. We have Ryan Reynolds. He seems to have a lot of movies, kind of, I don't say low budget, but obscure movies. I'm finding more and more. Chaos Theory. He planned his life clockwise. Now things are going cuckoo. And I think this is kind of a comedy, or supposed to be a comedy.
Chaos Theory, and all the DVDs were 50 cents today, so couldn't pass up on that. Next we have Michael Collier. It's another platinum comedy series. And if you're into comedy, you might have seen him back in the day on Def Jam Comedy. Michael Collier. Next, I've seen this before. Decided to pick it up for a couple bucks. Hugh Grant and Sarah Jessica Parker. Did you hear about Morgans? That's a comedy, the perfect date movie. Next we have one of those silly kind of movies, like date movie. This is Disaster Movie. The Cataclysmic Edition unrated. You have Kim Kardashian, Carmen Electra. I think that's it. Everybody's name I recognize in there. So the Lionsgate release. And so we have some back art there. Disaster Movie. Next we have Foxcatcher. Never seen this. I know this is based on a true story. Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo on the Foxcatcher. I have a bootleg copy of this, so I can replace this and upgrade to a Blu-ray. I think my wife might have watched this. I have this, and I'll see if the code works or not. Foxcatcher. Next we have the ex-porn star Tracy Lords and Frostbites. This is a silly movie. I basically got it for Tracy Lords. I didn't know she was still doing movies, and I'm trying to think what year is this. Came back in 2004, so I thought she stopped doing movies in the 90s. And it's a clear disc. Frostbite. Next we have another After Dark Horror Fest, one of 8 films to die for, The Grave Dancers. I know I had a bootleg copy of this. I saw this a while ago. It's a pretty decent movie if I remember correctly. So glad to upgrade to a DVD copy. And also for you guys who picked up The Thompsons, The Hamiltons is actually the prequel to The Thompsons. It's actually a pretty decent movie. I have The Hamiltons, Dark Ride, I believe Wicked Little Things, The Grave Dancers, and I believe The Abandoned. So if you ever get a chance to check any of these out, they're actually pretty decent stories. Grave Dancers. Next you've seen The Ice Harvest. I've seen this for years, just never picked it up because I always wanted more than I wanted to pay for it. John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton in The Ice Harvest. And I'm a John Cusack fan from the 80s. It's Focus Entertainment, Focus Feature, Ice Harvest. Next we have The Interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen. Okay, another one I haven't seen. I've heard a lot about it. Don't know how funny it is or is not. And it actually comes with the... I wonder what this is. Interesting. We'll see if this works. The Interview. Next we have the Lazarus Project with the late Paul Walker from Fast and Furious. Cheating Death is only the beginning. I'm assuming this is somewhat like the movie I can't think of right now, the original one Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland. I'm guessing this is something like that, and I know there was another movie with the name Lazarus in it. With the comedian. I can't think of his name also. But we'll see how this is. The Lazarus Project. This is Sony release. Next we have Larenz Tate and Deborah Cox and Love Come Down. I've never even heard of this movie before. So I like Larenz Tate. And I like him 50 cents enough worth to get that, so if it sucks, I'm not too heartbroken for 50 cents. Larenz Tate, Deborah Cox, Love Come Down. Next we have Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish and the extended cut of Night School. Actually, somewhat funny movie. I laughed out loud a couple times when I watched it. Haven't seen the alternate opening though, so maybe I'll check that out. Night School. Next, I actually got this for just $1. This is on clearance. Milk with Sean Penn. And this is based on a real life, a true story. If he's the first gay congressman or senator or something to that effect. It just has a Blu-ray. Milk. Next we have a Ghost House underground release. I think they had one other one of these and it was just in poor condition, so I didn't want to pick it up. No Man's Land. The Rise of Reeker. And Ghost House usually has some pretty decent horror pictures. It's a Lionsgate release. This looks like it was a Redbox release. I've seen this for years and it just looks goofy. And I decided to pick it up. Orgasmo, unrated special edition from the creators of South Park. So you know it has to be a little bit off the chain from the guys from South Park. Orgasmo, the special edition. Two versions, the original theatrical and the outrageous unrated version. Have the clear disc. I'm assuming theatrical on one side and the unrated on the other side. Orgasmo. Next we have Richard Pryor Live and Smoking, digitally remastered. This is the older edition. I have a newer edition of this, and I'm not sure if this is the uncut version. I think one cut is edited. So I'm interested to see if there's any difference between this and a newer version of this stand-up I have of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor Live and Smoking. Next we have Runaway. I just got this because it had The Rock and old girl from Different World, Jasmine Guy. And he looks familiar. Not sure who this is, but he does look familiar. Runaway. It actually looks like one of those after-school specials. And Charles Dutton, a.k.a. The Rock. And if you don't know, back in the 80s, 90s, he had a television show where he played a garbage man named The Rock. This is Runaway. Next, we have Tim Allen, Andy McDowell, some other familiar faces, don't know them by name. The Six Wives of Henry LaFay. It looked interesting. Let's see, I have a new old Blockbuster box. Six Wives of Henry LaFay. And we have The Sixth Sense. I already have this on Blu-ray, and I'm not sure if I have this on DVD or not, but it just looked like a cool case, and for 50 cents, I really couldn't pass it up. I thought it was a pretty decent deal. And you have the little, what is this? Huh. Okay, got this open. It's actually kind of cool. Has the storyboard sequence. And you have a little weird booklet here. So, The Sixth Sense. I have the Stepford Wives. I actually have a copy of this, full frame and widescreen. My widescreen one's a little scratched up. This is a better copy than I have, if I can get it open. Stepford Wives, full screen. Then we have another Platinum comedy series with Alex Thomas, Straight Clownin'. Nice little insert. Alex Thomas. Next we have The Town. I have a bootleg copy of this. This is okay. Maybe I need to watch it again. It just seemed a little slow the first time I saw it with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner and Blake Lively. The Town at the theatrical and the extended version. The Town. Next I have Shaquille O'Neal and Uncle Drew. This is a cute film. It was funny. Definitely worth the watch. Uncle Drew. And I have the Blu-ray and the DVD copy. Next we have Up in the Air with George Clooney, another replacement for a bootleg copy that I had earlier. And it was not the movie of the year. It was just okay, as I remember correctly. Up in the Air. It was one of those drama comedy types movies. And this one I was actually considering buying on Amazon because I only had it on Laserdisc. And I know eventually Eddie Murphy has to release this on Blu-ray. So for 50 cents, I decided to get it on DVD, opposed to paying $5 on Amazon. Eddie Murphy and the beautiful Angela Bassett in Vampire in Brooklyn. I just saw a picture of Angela Bassett, I think last month. She's in her 60s and she is still fine. Vampire in Brooklyn. Next we have What Goes Around Comes Around. Dave E. Talbot presents. I have a couple movies like this I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I think these are plays. I'm pretty sure these are plays, somewhat similar to Tyler Perry. What Goes Around Comes Around. You have the nice inside cover art. Next we have You Again with Sigourney Weaver, Kristen Bell, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Betty White. So, very known cast of actresses. Not familiar with this movie, but it's Betty White, so I've always liked Betty White since the days of The Golden Girls, so I'm imagining some amount of humor, if no one else, from her. You Again. And the last one, A Wrinkle in Time. This is not the newer one. This is a 2000, what version? 2003? No, 1983. Is it? No. I looked it up. I think it's like 2003, and I think they had one come out 2019. A Wrinkle in Time. I haven't seen this version. So I've seen the more recent one. And this is my pawn shop pickup. And if you can hold on for a second, I'll do the usual. I will discard the DVD and Blu-ray boxes and put the DVDs and Blu-rays in the cases and put the artwork in my folders. Hold on. Okay, I have everything broken down. The DVD and Blu-ray boxes ready to dispose of. Artwork ready to go into their folders. And the Blu-rays and DVDs ready to go into the cases. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2020. So anything you can do, share, like, I greatly appreciate it. If nothing else, give me the big thumbs up. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Peace.